Hi there, my name is Stephanie Nichols, and today I'll be discussing a path analysis model on the associations between young adults' social media addiction, relationship quality with parents, and internalizing problems. This path analysis was directed by the Department of Psychology at the l'Université de Québec at Montréal. So to begin, the aim of this study was really interesting. The psychologists ultimately wanted to buckle down on the most debilitating symptoms that can derive from problematic use of social media, particularly in young adults. Some of these symptoms can look like anxiety or depression. And then the psychologists also wanted to sort of analyze the quality of relationships with mothers and fathers with the problematic use of social media in young adults, as well as the overall psychological health and mental well-being of these young adults. Alright, so to take a look at the participants, there are 435 total young adults involved in this study. 62.6% of them are male, and all of them are 19 years of age. Thankfully, there was a large percentage of the participants who still live with at least one parent to better understand the problematic use of social media and how it relates to the quality of relationships with the young adults' parents. For the method of this study, it was broken down into 4 parts. The first part being to recruit the 435 young adults who actually just so happened to be in a previous study, but did agree to be a part of this one as well. The second part of this method was to then bring them through a follow-up assessment. And then third, the participants were asked to complete a questionnaire, and this was in private during a visit with a trained research assistant in the comfort of their own homes. And lastly, number 4 was to compensate them with some gift certificates for all their hard work. Taking a look at the results, I found this study to be very important to be done. I felt it was reading the headline, but especially looking at the results, I find that this was definitely a necessary study, especially being a young adult myself who does use social media on a day-to-day basis. Overall, to take a look at the results, there was a general report of moderate depression. This was specifically related to higher consumption of social media, so that is at least 2 hours a day. The general report of anxiety was also significantly related to a higher use of social media as well. There was also a general report of moderate to high social media addiction. So some of the symptoms of social media addiction can be the uncontrollable need to compare oneself to others. The study found that the symptoms of the social media addiction seemed to go more towards the females in the study group as well. But it did seem to show that it was an overall sort of general symptom towards the entire scope of the 435 students who did suffer from the social media addiction symptoms. The study did also find that social media definitely causes the habit of internalizing problems, and this can lead to some issues with parent-child relationships as well. Females definitely seem to present more symptoms of anxiety and depression surrounding the use of social media that can come from beauty standards and everything like that. Alright, so to discuss after taking a look at the study, the participants, the method, and the results, I feel as though the study really strengthened the idea that the benefits of technological advances most certainly plateaus after a certain point. I feel like with the beautiful sort of making of social media that happened years ago has reached a point of no return, especially with children and young adults, where there's just an absolute overconsumption of social media that is becoming so problematic and very difficult to sort of recover from. And I felt that this study really just strengthened in numbers just how severe this can be. So overall, I'm very happy that I fell upon this study and learned a little bit more about it to teach both myself, the audience, and even close family members and friends. So my hope and goal with this presentation is that you ponder on this, we think about and reevaluate maybe our overconsumption and possibly even a friend's who seems to be struggling with overconsumption of social media, and we can sort of grow from this current state together. Alright, so ultimately I leave you with a couple questions from this presentation, and they are: how has social media affected your life, for better or worse? And how do you feel about your own consumption of social media daily as well? I feel like that is something that we could even write down or try to talk about with friends and kind of get an idea of how good or bad maybe our consumption is. Okay, so I hope you have learned a thing or two about social media use in young adults. This ultimately concludes my presentation, so thank you very much for listening and for your undivided attention today. Thank you.